What is up, my fellow net dwellers? Normally, I go into a spiel about the whole like and subscribe and what all I'm up to. We're gonna just cut this short today, and we're gonna go with, hey, this is Dark Souls 3. Today, I'm teaching you how to use multiple mods for it, and let's just get into it, right? All right, to start off with, we're going to be going ahead and using UXM on this thing, so I don't know why I always think it's there. Anyways, manage, browse local files. Here is my unmodded Dark Souls game, fully compressed, not a single thing in here, right? So let's go ahead and get to this. You can snag UXM from actually Sekiro location over here. So there's the UXM. It's by TKGP, and you can find it over in Sekiro Shadow Dies Twice, but it does work for what we're doing here. And this will actually decompress all of the files that Dark Souls uses, so we can actually modify things without actually using the mod engine at all. So let me go ahead and snag that. So we go into downloads. And we've got good old UXM right here. We're just going to go ahead and copy this here. Drop it here. We're going to go ahead and run it. I mean, they've got the basic README here, but I'm not going to worry too much about that. Also, I have yet to fix my notepad because it's currently displaying out in the middle of nowhere. Basically, the whole gist is you just have to point UXM at it. So let's go ahead and run this thing. Here is UXM. It's looking at Dark Souls game exe here. We're going to just unpack this thing. And what unpacking is going to do is it's just going to go ahead and get all the files that are located in DLLs, all zipped up and all that, and give us access to them. Now, why this matters is whenever you're doing a texture replacement, for instance, the Horny Firekeeper mod, which I'm going to show you in a second, or using the Souls Keeper Outfit Manager to replace some armor, this will let you do that. Go ahead and update your files, and you don't have to actually use a mod engine or anything like that to do it. Now that that's unzipped, we're going to go ahead and install the Horny Firekeeper. However, instead of using this method with the mod engine, we're just going to replace the files. So let's go ahead and go over here. We're going to open this up with 7-zip. As always, the link for 7-zip is down in the description. And we'll notice here it says char, right? So let's go back to our actual files here. We're going to go into the game, and we're going to open up char. We're going to copy this route. We're going to go ahead and come in here. We're going to extract these to that location, and we want to replace them. Now, if we did this right, we should have Horny Firekeeper working. Oop, I almost forgot. And then I always come back into UXM and I do a patch, which should update all the stuff, just to be safe. And then let's go ahead and play, and we should have Horny Firekeeper active.
Yes, indeed. It is.
Just because that's how it works. Anyway, let's go ahead and make sure that we've got this up and going. There we go. Successfully replaced the Firekeeper. Go ahead and save this real quick. That piece there is how you can use character replacement using UXM. Let's go ahead and do the Souls Outfit Keeper real quick. So I've got my Souls Outfit Manager here, which it is just this guy here, the Souls Outfit Manager by Amir. It basically just lets you replace the textures of different armors in the game. I have the Knight's armor on, I believe. So we'll be looking to replace that. Anyway, so all you do is come into the Souls Outfit Manager. Go ahead and extract this guy right here. And then we need an outfit. So let's go ahead and go into Souls Outfit Manager. And we're going to go to Mods. And we're going to go ahead and get the Velveteen Alluring Black Lingerie mod, which is part of the Miyazaki's Hidden Wardrobe. And we're going to just move both of these into this. Actually, I'm going to just extract this. Extract all. And we're just going to extract into this folder. We'll see if that'll work. All right. I could have also just dragged and dropped that, but whatever. And now we've got that in there. Let's go ahead and run the Souls Outfit Manager. Windows Defender is going to pop up. You can go ahead and run anyways, or at least I'm going to go ahead and run anyways. This has been validated. You'll notice over here it says safe to use as far as Outfit Manager goes, so this should be okay. But like all modding, run at your own risk, right? So this is how it comes up by default. You'll notice we've got our two parts over there that we're looking to replace, but we don't have any of our other parts. So we're going to actually have to browse, and we're going to go ahead and select folder here. And now we pull in all of our actual files here. Here it is, just the night leggings. So we're going to be going for the high detail here, and we're going to go ahead and do, let's do the cloth. So you click here to select this one, you select this here, and it'll say, hey, are you sure you want to replace this? And the answer is yes, we do. You don't always have a female replacement part, so this one's just male, so that's fine. It'll replace it for both of them. And then we need knight armor, which, there it is. So we've replaced that with the velveteen cloth. Let's replace this with the, actually, I don't remember if I replaced that with the velveteen cloth or not. If you don't remember what you did, you can go ahead and just come over here and hit backspace on it, and you'll go ahead and revert it back to the original. So we've got the knight armor. We're going to do the knight's velveteen here. Knight legging. And we're going to replace that with the cloth. And then we have the gauntlets and the helmet. I normally just take the helmets off because it's very difficult to get the textures right. You have to mess with the masking. But for the gauntlets, right, gaunt. All you have to do is come in here and you can hit backspace, I believe, here, or delete here. There we go. And you're going to just replace the skin texture with nothing. All right. Now those changes have all been made. I'm going to go ahead and open up UXM again, or I still have UXM open, I believe. Yeah, right there. And I'm going to go ahead and click patch. Now, if this worked, we should have successfully replaced our armor. So let's go ahead and go back into Dark Souls. Voila. So now we have that outfit on. Obviously the head's off, but that's okay. But you'll notice we don't have any gauntlets. This is just the normal outfit. So we've successfully done that part. Let's go ahead and exit out. So with this method, you can basically replace any of the textures in the game and not have to worry about any type of, well, conflict, of course, if you replace multiples of the same texture. But this should let you replace, you know, multiple character models, multiple armor textures, have all those functions without overlapping, and that's as far as the UXM goes. Now the question comes, how do you do multiple mods themselves? Instead of using UXM, if we actually mod the game, which I'm going to be going ahead and using Convergence, which is this guy right here. Convergence by Tiger G2, Couch Jockey, and Aaron Barron, which is a full game adaptation. And then we're also going to be adding in the Honest Merchant. And then we're also going to be adding in the Honest Merchant, which just gives us, the ability to buy anything by church card. So those are two different mods, but we're only going to have one mod engine and be able to use them both. So first, let's start with Convergence. We're going to come in here, and all we're going to do right here is we're going to copy this stuff. We're going to go into Dark Souls 3 in game, and we're going to right-click and paste in here. While this is doing its thing, you'll notice two big things here. One, the DI input, DLL, and the mod engine INI. The big things to note about these are you will need these to do mod engine replacement. If the mod you're using does not have these, you'll have to snag the mod engine off Dark Souls. You only ever want to have one mod engine, so one D input DLL and one mod engine at any given time. So if you have a mod engine for one, don't bother adding the mod engine for the other. We'll just be modifying the mod engine INI to handle both the mods. All right, so let's go ahead and open this with code. I'm opening it with code because my notepad's not working. You can open it however you want. Now, 1 is enabled, 0 is not. So you'll notice use alternate save file is not enabled. I'm going to go ahead and enable that. This is going to point my save to a different location, and I do that specifically because I don't really want to. Using the saves and different saves, I would corrupt it. Anyways, so block network access set to 1. This forces it to offline. Load loose params is loading loose files. We're not worried about that. Load UXM files. I don't need to worry about this. The data archive should be fine because we do have complete extraction of UXM, but I keep patching to update it. So we don't have to worry about that. You'll notice use mod override directory. So what this is going to do is it's going to point to a specific directory, and the mod directory is the convergence. So all of our mods that we want to load have to be in there. Now you'll notice we have the chain DLL 8 input for other mods. So if another mod is named D input DLL, you can rename it to other mod or something else and place it in the root drive, and it'll load that as well. So you'll notice this one's also loading the hoodie patcher, but we need it to load our additional mod as well. Because there's only one INI, there's multiple DLLs, but this has its own INI file as well. Let's go into the hood patcher INI. Ooh, I need to open that with code. So let's see what the hood patcher INI looks like. Hey, what do you know? It's another similar mod engine setup. Well, kind of. This is saying chain input, and it's going to run the debug DLL. So if we wanted to chain our input and load another mod, this one actually gives us the ability to do so. So let's go ahead and then snag our mod that we're wanting here, which is the Honest Merchant. We're going to grab both of these, and we're going to right-click and copy them over. We're going to paste them in this root folder. We're not pasting them in the mod folders. Make sure you don't do that. We're pasting in the root folder. Now, just notice how this is saying debug DLL. We're not going to load debug DLL. Instead, we're going to be loading the Honest Merchant DLL. So Honest Merchant.dll. So that should let us chain to the Honest Merchant. So let's go ahead and save this guy. And save this guy. Now let's look at the Honest Merchant INI. So go ahead and open with code. Oop, I opened the DLL. We just care about the INI. So these are the settings for Honest Merchant INI. And you'll notice chain load DLL, it has nothing. The hoodie patcher did originally have something there, which was the debug DLL. So I'm going to go ahead and just point this to the debug DLL as well. But if you wanted to load another one, notice chain loading, it'll start loading one, load the next. So you just have to make sure that you're updating these DLLs to point to the next one. But you'll notice the chain load is still the primary characteristics. So by doing this, we should not only have the hoodie patcher, the full convergence mod load, but we also should have the honest merchant mod load. Now we should have the horny firekeeper, the honest merchant, the Miyazaki's hidden wardrobe, and convergence all loaded up on one Dark Souls game. And if this works, we should launch without issue. Let's go ahead and try it out. Looks like we got convergence there. So that's step 1 done. And it's looking good. We are offline still, which is great. I don't like the fact that it gives me continue here. Go ahead and do a new game just to be safe. Okay, so Horny Firekeeper is still in place, so I assume the Knight's armor would still be modified as well. Let's go ahead and confirm whether or not our other mod is working. I need to try to remember how to get to where that other mod is. Not through there. I think I have to go up and around, right? Yeah, up around. Hi, you're new. Target dummy ahead. Oh, it's for testing. I want to say it was a skeleton up over here, right? There's supposed to be a slumped over skeleton right up here. However, he is gone. So that is unfortunate. That means these two mods are not compatible because this one gets rid of the merchant itself. Well, that's unfortunate. Let me go ahead and snag a different mod. I'm going to actually try this. Because Convergence is set to run, it should automatically pull in everything from Convergence. So if I add in the character files for the Firekeeper to this, for this other Firekeeper mod, which is the Firekeeper Waifu Edition, she should look slightly different. It's this mod here. It should actually do what we want. So let's go ahead and try extracting this to this convergence location. So this isn't chain DLLing, this is just combining character files to override. Because essentially the mod engine will always pick everything from this default mod folder to override. So as long as you don't have conflicting files, you can snag them both and not have any issues. So if this extracts successfully, we should have a C1440 in here. Yep, there it is. And that should override our Firekeeper. I really wish I could show you guys how to change the DLLs, but finding ones that actually use DLL options, it has to be stuff like this, where it's just script, basically. Where you have the Honest Merchant DLL, where it's an application extension, and the Honest Merchant INI. Otherwise, if you don't have those, you're really stuck combining inside of this. Whereas the Honest Merchant really just has these things here, which makes it very easy to add it into any others by doing that chaining. It's like the hoodie patcher. We're currently chaining from the mod engine to the hoodie patcher, from the hoodie patcher to the honest merchant. It's just it's not available inside of the convergence mod because they got rid of the skeleton. If the skeleton was there, we'd be able to interact with it. But because the character is not in that location, I don't know where they put the skeleton for that one, but because it's not in that spot, we can't use it. And I could try to uninstall Dark Souls and reinstall and use Ember mod instead, but that's just too much. So instead, I'm showing you the basics of We've got convergence in here. We went ahead and added an additional mod to the convergence because convergence only replaces certain items. So we're adding in a piece here to replace our Firekeeper mod, which we already replaced. However, this should override the default skin that UXM does. So let's go ahead and play real quick. And if that other mod installed correctly, we should be fine. So let's go ahead and load game, and we're going to do... Yeah, so these are all my old characters. Here's someone else, though. That's the one we were playing with. Those other mod files have, or other saves will have a mix of like pocket souls and whatever tossed on them. And you'll notice, you see that invisible section there? That is because part of the texture that we have overridden is not coming through. But it did change her appearance for the rest of it. So it's only designed to replace one part, and because it's replacing the part that one part and not the other part, it's having that issue where it's setting to invisible. And that's just because I'm combining two different Firekeeper mods. But, so that will work for you if you're wanting to change texture files into mods that you're currently loading. So any mod engine will load the full mod engine stuff. However, if you have multiple files in both mods that replace each other, you need another way to load it. And hopefully the mod has the option to do DLL chaining. Any which way, so I showed you how to use UXM to replace multiple different textures in the files and use it to upload mods straight into the game by replacing the assets. And UXM will back up your pre-existing state. Next, I showed you how to use the mod engine to change DLL inputs by chaining the convergence to the hoodie to the honest merchant. Sadly, the honest merchant wasn't there, but what can you do? And lastly, I showed you that mod engine will load all the character assets in the given mod folder. In this case, I used the Fire Waifu edition of the Firekeeper, dropped the default skin inside of the mod engine, and had the mod engine inject that along with my convergence mod. You all have a good day, a great tomorrow, and an amazing rest of the week. I'll see you next time.